time for us at Te Anau. We have extended and we have extended, and it's now been probably about a total of 10 nights. I think we've been here and all up, and we have patiently been waiting for the rain to stop, and it has eventually stopped, and we're just going through our departure process, and we're hitting the road. Not far to go, just from Te Anau to Tuatapere, which is around 70 kilometres, but we have had our fair share of rain. Just look at the clothesline. I mean, you'd so need to put your gumboots on before you go hanging out the washing. Had enough of this rain. Well, it was just a short drive, as I mentioned, from Te Anau to Tuatapere, only about 70 kilometres, and we managed to miss any lingering rain. So now we are in the sleepy little town of Tuatapere, and we're going to be going to see what is in and around the local area, and hopefully we're here for about 2 nights. And we're parked at the Town and Country Club, which is just off the main road and free for NZMCA members to park out the back. But we will be going in for a drink tomorrow night just to repay them for their hospitality. It just seems the decent thing to do, really.
And you know, those 2 cars went past, the first 2 cars in like half an hour, they had to happen when you were filming.
And now there's no cars. Why is that? Oh well, it's just to prove that cars do pass through Tuatapere.
I spent my youth dropping coins in a wishing well. In hopes one day that I would find a story to tell. I will regret so
we've walked the town of Tuatapere, seen the highlights. We arrived back at the van, so this is our spot behind the Town and Country Club. So NZMCA members, perfect.
We bless the sun 'cause it gave light to our days.
So we had a very pleasant and quiet night behind the Waiau Town and Country Club here in Tuatapere, and we're going to spend the day exploring. Throughout our travels on New Zealand, we make it our mission to stop at the small town New Zealand and just to uncover exactly what there is to do. You may think, driving through the sleepy town of Tuatapere, that there's not a lot happening here, but quite often if you get the chance to stop and peel back some of the layers, you'll find some real treasures. So our first stop today is we're going to go for a drive out to Lake Hauroko, and it is the deepest lake in New Zealand. First time I've been there. You been there before?
No, I don't think so.
No, Scotty hasn't been there before either. So about a 45-minute drive from Tuatapere, you come to Lake Hauroko. Now about 20 kilometres of that drive is on gravel road, but I think the surface was really good. The road surface was good. You just have to look out for logging trucks. We didn't come across any, but there are signs saying that beware of logging trucks. So as I mentioned earlier, Lake Hauroko is the deepest lake in New Zealand. It is around about 462 metres deep, to be precise, and it's about 40 kilometres long. So that pips Lake Manapuri at the post, because Lake Manapuri is the second deepest lake in New Zealand at about 440 metres. So, you know, we're talking between 14 and 1500 feet deep. So I don't think I'd be pulling in a fish at those depths. So you've got Lake Hauroko is the deepest, Lake Manapuri is the second deepest. Then you have Lake Tianau coming in as a close third, and then we have Lake Hawea, and then Lake Wakatipu. And yes, I am reading it off my notes, just to make sure I get it right.
And that's the end of the
So
jetty.
as you can see, Lake Hauroko is also suffering a few flooding issues,
Yep.
along with all the other lakes in the Fiordland and Otago region.
So the depth you gave, you're out then? Because it's going to be at least another 6 inches.
Oh no, Google was wrong. I would say it's deeper than 462 metres at the moment, looking at the jetty. So we tried to complete the 45-minute loop forest track here, and that was a fail. Oh, should I shut the door? Mozzies. But it only turned into a one-way there and back. Where's the sun? There and back for us, as lake levels and swamp levels were just too high for us to carry on. But nice walk anyway. We're not going to do the lookout walk. That's about a 4-hour return. It has been noted for advanced trampers with a high level of fitness and no fear of vertigo. So that's 3 strikes and I'm out, pretty much. So we're just going to go back and have a look at the dock camp. There's no camping here where we're parked right on the lake side, but there is a dock camp about 7 k's back. So we'll just pop in there, have a look. It's a shame it's not closer to the lake, but maybe the mozzies may not be quite so bad, although we have had worse, definitely. Okay, so 6 kilometres from Lake Hauroko back is the dock camp. And it looks like it's free, pretty boggy in places. I think that you would definitely want to stay on the hard stand, and as you can see behind me there are a few camper vans here with young people. Yeah, we may be too old to stay here, I don't know, never too old. But yeah, it does seem to be in the middle of nowhere. There are a set of long drop toilets in the background. Big area, but nice when it is maybe not so wet, and no mosquitoes, not like down by the lake. Next stop for us today, the Clifden Suspension Bridge. Closed to all traffic today, but built in 1899 and still going strong. Geez, they knew how to build things back then. Stop, the Clifden Limestone Caves. So we're going to go for a wander, equipped with headlamp, bike helmet, because I have learnt my lesson about hitting my head. And it's just a short walk. It's about 300 metres in from the road, and we'll go and have a look. I've also changed into my gumboots because apparently it's quite wet, but I'm not too sure how far we'll go in. But this all used to be a shallow sea, and we're still on the Alpine Fault, so the land was forced upwards over the years, over millions of years, and now we're quite far from the coastline, but they've left about a 75 kilometre trail of limestones all the way through this area. So we'll go and see what it's all about. Clifden Caves, tick, done. We probably made it about 3/4 of the way through, right to the part where you hit the pond, also known as the swimming pool. And it's a very apt name for it at the moment, because with all the rain, clearly the swimming pool level is higher than normal, because we did read you can shimmy around a ledge. Ledge was fully submerged. We didn't want to risk cameras and video cameras and everything, so we turned around and came back. But lots of shimmering through tight spaces, creeping along on all fours, sliding down on your bum. So we're muddy, sweaty. So a good reasonable level of agility is required, probably more of a fitness, and not good for people who suffer from claustrophobia, because you really are in quite tight spaces. And a helmet and a headlamp so that you've got your hands free to hold on to stuff. We just wear our bike helmets, and I took some serious wax on that helmet, probably about 4 or 5 times, so definitely a helmet of some sort. So, on to the next thing today. Every intrepid explorer or caver needs to be fed and watered. The Orepuki Beach Cafe is in the middle of nowhere, but quite a great find. Nice.
Feel like it was my ego, maybe it's my decisions. Anyways, here we go. Know you full of resentment, thought I was a hero. Started to second guess it, guess I get the message. It's a cold world, cold said it best. And my grandma said if it's dead, let it rest. Never let them see the pain.
Next stop on our epic exploration day from Tuatapere is Monkey Island. I'm so going to have to Google why that little island in the background there is called Monkey Island. So you're going to have to check out my blog, which the attachment is below, or the link is below, to find out why they call it Monkey Island.
Anyways, feel like it was my ego, maybe it's my decisions. Anyways, here we go. Know you full of resentment, thought I was a hero. Started to second guess it, guess I get the message. Used to dance all night, summer
and over to you, Scott.
Thank you. We're at Monkey Island, which I don't know how many times I've been here, and I still haven't found it to be at low tide so we can walk out to it. But the history, according to legend, or what's really on the board up the road there, is before the road came in, there was a slipway here. They used to bring the ships in, they used a monkey to pull on the rope. I'm not too sure how true that is, but let's go with that at the moment.
Thank you, Mr. Google.
No worries.
Now just down from Monkey Island you have Gemstone Beach, and I've been wanting to come here for quite a long time. I was talking to another traveller who said that she just loves wandering along Gemstone Beach because apparently on here you can find garnet and jasper and quartz and nephrite, and some people have even found sapphires. I know, go figure. So let's see what we can find, and unfortunately the tide's in, which is not a good thing for looking for gemstones, I'm thinking. This might be our last stop for the day. We've been going healthily all day, and we have made it to Bluecliffs Beach. And I think this is as far around as the road goes, doesn't it? On this side of the coast.
The road goes on the start of the hump track.
Yeah, it goes on a little bit more, and that's the start of the hump track. And I think it's about a 60+ kilometre 4 or 5 day hike that people can do. And that starts just along from here on the Bluecliffs Beach. These stones are all a different colour to what we've seen. They're all white. Lovely.